Welcome back. Today we are talking about something that quietly shapes almost every part of our lives, the ego. Not in a spiritual way, not in a psychological theory way, but in direct experience. Because most people think the ego is something that they need to fight, fix, or get rid of. But what if the ego is not your enemy? What if it's not your enemy at all? What if it's just a pattern of thinking that you have been identifying with? In this episode, we are going to explore what the ego actually is, how it connects to the idea of the separate self, how it shows up in relationships, and I'll guide you through a short experience so you can see this for yourself. So take a breath, relax, and let's begin. So let's talk about the ego. Let's talk about what it actually is in direct experience. Most people think that the ego is their personality, or their confidence, or their pride, or something that they need to get rid of to become spiritual. But the ego isn't a thing, it isn't an entity. It isn't sitting inside your head making decisions. The ego is simply the sense of being a separate someone. It's the collection of thoughts, memories, labels, roles, and stories that say, I am this body. This is my past. This is what's happened to me. This is who I am. This is what I lack. This is what I need. Psychology tried to map this out through people like Sigmund Freud, describing the ego as a structure of the mind. And this can be useful on a human level. But when you actually look at your own experience, the ego is much simpler than that. It's just thought claiming ownership of experience. So a sensation arises and a thought says, my anxiety. An emotion appears and a thought says, I am sad. A memory comes up and a thought says, this always happens to me. That is the ego forming, not as a thing, but as a story. And this is where it connects directly with what's often called the separate self. They're the same thing. The ego is the sense of being a separate self. It's the imagined me that seems to live inside the body and run life. The voice that says, I am over here. Life is happening to me. I need to get something. I need to fix myself. I am this body and this history. But when you look closely, there's never an actual someone behind it. There's only thoughts appearing, sensations appearing, emotions appearing, images appearing, all arising within awareness. Teachers like Rupert Spira point to this very simply. There is experience, but no separate experiencer. There is thinking, but no thinker. There is doing, but no independent doer. So the ego isn't something that you have, it's something that happens. It's a pattern of thought claiming this is me. And the separate self is just that pattern believed. But here's the important part. You don't need to fight the ego. You don't need to fix it. You don't need to destroy it because you are not the ego. The ego appears within you. Just like thoughts appear, just like emotions appear, just like sensations appear. Awareness is already here, noticing all of it. Right now, notice this. You are aware of thoughts. You are aware of feelings. You are aware of sensations in the body. That which is aware cannot be any of those things. So the ego is not you. It's something you are aware of. The ego's job is simple. It tries to create safety, identity, continuity. It wants to know who you are. It wants to predict the future. It wants to protect the body. It wants to avoid pain. It wants to seek pleasure. And there's nothing wrong with that. It evolved to help the human survive. But the problem stems from when we believe that we are the ego. Life then feels really heavy. We start carrying stories. We start defending identities. We start trying to control outcomes. And we live from fear and lack and effort. Awakening isn't about becoming someone better. It's about seeing what you already are, what you've always been. And the moment you notice that the ego is just a pattern of thought appearing in awareness, something relaxes. Not because the ego disappears, but because you stop mistaking it for you. Thoughts still arise, emotions still move, and the body still responds. But you stop trying to improve the character. You stop trying to heal the imaginary me. You stop fighting your own thoughts. I know we've all done that. Because you finally realise that you were never the character. You were always the awareness noticing the story. Now let's talk about relationships, because this is where the ego becomes really obvious. In relationships, the ego says, you complete me, you made me feel this way, I need you to change, I'm not enough without you, I'm afraid of losing you, I need reassurance. It turns love into lack. It turns connection into attachment. It turns another human into the source of your happiness or pain. When the ego is running the relationship, love feels conditional. It feels transactional. It feels like I need you to be a certain way so I can feel okay. And then fear enters. Fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of not being chosen. But notice something. All of that happens inside you. The sensations, the emotions, the thoughts, they arise within awareness. Your partner doesn't create those feelings. They trigger patterns already living in the body and mind. So the ego story says, they made me feel this. But the truth is, experience is arising within you. And when you see that, relationships relax, they soften. You stop needing somebody to complete you. You stop trying to control outcomes. You stop looking for yourself in another person. You meet them from wholeness instead of lack. You meet them from presence instead of fear. Now let's do a short guided experience together. You don't need to change anything. Just notice that right now there are thoughts. You are not choosing them. They are just appearing. Now notice there are sensations in the body. Pressure from maybe wherever you are sat at the moment. Pressure from your body on whatever you're sitting on. The warmthness. Just feel it. Emotions may be present. Let them be there. Gently ask, where is the me that all of this belongs to? Where is the me that all of this belongs to? Not intellectually, just look directly. Can you find an actual separate self? Is there a solid I anywhere in experience, or is there just seeing, hearing, feeling, thinking, all happening? Now notice that you are aware of thoughts, you are aware of sensations, you are aware of emotions. That which is aware cannot be any of those things. So rest for a moment as the awareness noticing. No effort, no trying, just being. Let experience move. Let thoughts come and go. Let sensations rise and fall. Let it all be here. And notice that life is happening. But there's no separate someone making it happen. Breathing happens. The heart beats. Sounds appear. Thoughts arise. Awareness remains. And that awareness is what you are. You're not the story. You're not the character. You are the quiet presence noticing it all. So before we finish, I just want to say, you do not need to become a different person. You don't need to fix yourself. You don't need to get rid of your ego. Nothing has gone wrong. Thoughts will still come up. Feelings will still show up and life will still happen. The only difference is you might start noticing that you don't have to believe every story about them. You don't have to attach any meaning or any story to any of your thoughts, to any of your feelings. You can just allow it all to be there without attaching any story or meaning to any of it. You don't have to take everything personally. You can just notice what's there. Notice what's here and just allow it to be there. And that alone can change how you experience your days, your relationships, and yourself. So, thank you for spending time with me today. And if this helped in any small way, take it with you into your day. And I will see you next time.